This is so interesting because basically, when you talk to men about, like providing financially, I I'm often like taken back how little men actually know about finances, but how much we claim to know about finances, right? Like men love to talk about how when they, one of the main things that they can teach a woman is how to invest and blah, 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 blah. Men just like to gamble more than women. So they might day trade more, they might take riskier chances in the stock market, but men aren't better at investing than women. Women are risk adverse, men love risk, right? Um, so I don't agree with that notion, but men, but when you talk to men about what they actually need to do to provide for a woman financially, the only thing that they talk about is like a house, food, basic bare necessities, right? But then I go, well, and this is not, and this is me included because I didn't do this. Granted, when when my wife stayed home, it was never we knew it was never going to be like a forever thing. We knew it was a short term thing, right? And she really only stayed home and like did that. I won't even say nothing. That was you ain't got to say that. She only stayed home for like a year. Um, and then and then after that, she started to go to school. So, yeah, my wife knew that she was like, it was no way that she was going to be able to like, she was just like, I'm going to have to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like we knew that. Um, but if it was long term, I would have had to do something for my wife. Right. I think now when you talk to men about this though, they don't understand all that goes into, like, providing. They don't know. They think they literally just got a room, board, food, health insurance. If they don't even know if they think about that, but health insurance, you know what I'm saying? Here, whatever, right? Like, and I'm like, but what about? There's all these other things that you're not taking into account. And this lady, what happened to her during her divorce, just like perfectly encapsulates how little men care about, they don't care to take like a holistic approach to taking care of a woman, right? They just want to give a woman just enough and then expect the woman to give him the world.
Okay, so yesterday my ex found out how much like I'm going to get of his retirement, like legally what the law says. It's nothing more, nothing less. Like it's just what the law says. And he kind of said to me, well, I just need to know what you want in the divorce. And I said, I want full custody of the kids, which I basically have. I've always had. I've had full custody of them from day one. You can't even tell you their doctor's names. Um, and I want the house, and I just want whatever child support and alimony is owed, like whatever the law says.
Hmm.
And he got so freaking upset about finding out how much retirement he has to give me that he didn't say a word about the custody of the kids. He has not fought me once on that. Like he
Because men don't care once once they lose access to the woman, they don't care about the kids. We know that. Men care more about the money than they do about the women and the children, right? And a reason why he cares more about the money isn't even necessarily for him. Don't get me wrong, it is, but it's not even like it's about him. It's the same thing with child support. They don't want you to benefit. Like once they can't benefit from you, they don't want you to benefit off of them, right? Even though he owes you this money, you know what I'm saying? Even though he owes you this money, he just doesn't want. He's like, it's a principle. I don't, since I can't exploit her, I don't want her to get anything out of me. She's not even exploiting him at all. This is what she's owed, and she's probably still getting pennies on the dollar, still. But this is what she's owed, and he's fucking having a conniption.
does not, whatever, he's not said a word. He's not going to fight me on custody. He's going to, I get full custody. However, he's going to fight me over his retirement because he goes, I have worked 35 years and I'm not going to retire with nothing. And I'm like, okay, you can retire with money, but you're not retiring with family. So that works out. That's great. So I guess that's what's important to him. So I said, whatever, we'll just figure it out with the lawyers. I mean, the retirement, that's the least of my concerns. I'm definitely owed retirement because we put all of our funds into his retirement and I didn't put any retirement away because I was supposed to have his retirement, the funds we worked on together. And this was our plan, this was our goal, but he had other plans. So, I mean, whatever's owed to me, I'm getting. But apparently, he's more concerned about retirement than custody of his kids.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. How men don't take a holistic approach. How are you got to retire this woman too? You got to make sure you got to make sure that y'all have enough money and y'all not living on fucking scraps, because you're not going to make as much money in retirement as you are when you're working, right? The vast majority of people aren't. So how are you, like, are you putting enough money away for that? And then if she leaves, does she get that money? Are you you know what I mean? Like, are you doing that for her? Are you setting money aside for her? She needs cash too. If something happens to her, are you setting aside cash for her in a different account? So if something were to ever happen, like if you were to cheat or if she just wanted to leave, it doesn't matter. To be honest with you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because the reality is, here's the thing. Let's say that you had a private contractor come over and do some work at your house, right? And let's say they do the work. They do the work. And then they leave your house. They get online and they start talking cash money shit about you to everybody online, everybody that knows you. Oh, this dude's a fucking asshole. This woman's a this, she a bitch, yada, yada, yada. Right, cool. That's fucked up. And you got to handle that however you got to handle that, right? But you still got to pay that person for doing that job because they did the job. The labor happened. The energy got expensed, right? The risk was taken. The loss was taken by them, whether it be physically or financially or both, right? All these things already happened, right? So you don't get to say, nah, they talking crazy about me, I'm not gonna pay him. That's the thing about this shit that men really, y'all don't want to understand about this being a provider or whatever. Y'all are not really, you don't really have a provider mindset. That's what I'm saying. You don't have a provider mindset. You have a scarcity mindset. You live in a scarcity mindset, right? So you aim to control, and you're petty. And men will sit up here and be like, oh man, I don't want to put no money aside because if she cheats on me, she could take this. But hold on, but sir, I hear you. That's a risk you got to take. I hear you. But two questions. A, why are you marrying a person that you are worried about, like in that way? Like you're worried she's going to cheat on you. Why are you marrying her? And B, if she cheated, like if you were married to a person for 15 years, but within that, from year 1 to year 15, they were cooking and cleaning and child rearing and organizing and and shopping for the home and all of these things, right? Interior designing, emotionally supporting, all of these things, right? If a woman did that for 15 years and she cheats, does she still not deserve money? Does she still not deserve, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause she did that. Like, you can't make her if she loses you, that's a punishment, right? Like, that's the punishment. It shouldn't be, I'm going to punish her perpetually forever and ever and ever, because you mean to tell me now she can't retire ever? She's going to have to work until she's 80? No, absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely. Cheating is terrible. Abuse is terrible. I'm not defending any of that stuff, but absolutely the fuck not. Nope. That's not the way that's not how you're going to get retribution. It's not a one-to-one. Like when when OJ didn't get convicted of, killing his Nicole and Ron Goldman, when he didn't get convicted of doing that, and then they threw him in jail for fucking 10 years for, getting his memorabilia back or whatever happened. That's not, to me, that was like, I was like, you don't do it like that. Like, that's not just. That's not justice. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you either do it at the time or you don't do it, right? You don't make somebody pay for a crime in a different court of law, you know what I'm saying, for a different crime. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Your wife did the work. She put in the time. She sacrificed. If she cheats, that's fucked up. You leave her. You sort that out. That's a different thing. But she did the time. She did the labor. And you must pay. But man, it's just, yeah, men just aren't providers, man. And men don't give a fuck about kids or women after the fact. We use all of this as a means to manipulate women. Period, point fucking blank.